Good morning, afternoon, evening. Today I want to remind you of something profoundly simple yet deeply powerful. Success is just a game. And like any game, the rules are learnable, the strategies are adaptable, and the results are achievable. But the most important element, how you choose to play. So many of us look at success as if it's an exclusive treasure, reserved for a select few. We build walls of self-doubt, convincing ourselves that we don't have the talent, the resources, or the confidence to succeed. But here's the truth, the game of success isn't about being born with a winning hand. It's about how you approach the deck of cards you've been dealt. Every game has rules, and success is no different. But here's the catch, many of us try to play without fully understanding what those rules are. The rules of success begin in your mind. Your thoughts, beliefs, and self-perceptions shape how you show up in life. Think about it. If you enter a game convinced you'll lose, your focus will be on your limitations, not your possibilities. But if you play to win with clarity and confidence, you'll see opportunities where others see obstacles. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it most often. So tell it this: I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough. These aren't just words, they're the rules of the game. Commit to believing them, even if you don't feel them yet. Every great player, whether in sports, music, or business, starts with practice. Success is no different. You don't need to master everything all at once. Start small. Take consistent, deliberate actions. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, builds momentum. And here's the magic: when you show up and try, you send a signal to yourself that you're invested in your own success. There will be mistakes. Expect them, embrace them. Mistakes aren't failures, they're feedback. They're how you refine your skills and build resilience. Let's be honest, the biggest opponent in the game of success isn't out there, it's in here. Gesture to your head. That voice inside your head that says, you're not good enough, or you'll never make it, that's your inner critic. It's loud, isn't it? But here's the thing, your inner critic isn't the referee. It's just a player on the field, and you don't have to listen to it. Challenge those thoughts. When it says, you can't respond with watch me. When it whispers, you're not ready, say, I'll learn as I go. You are the player, the coach, and the captain of your own game. Have you ever noticed how athletes rehearse their victories in their minds before stepping onto the field? They see themselves crossing the finish line, scoring the goal, or standing on the podium. That's not coincidence, it's strategy. Success starts in the mind. Close your eyes and imagine your goals vividly. What does your success look like? Feel it. See, make it real in your imagination. The more you practice this, the more your mind begins to believe it's possible, and you'll start taking actions that align with that vision. Success is a journey, not a destination, and every game is made up of small wins. Don't wait for the big trophy to celebrate. Celebrate the first step. Celebrate the courage it took to try. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. When you acknowledge your progress, you reinforce the belief that you are moving forward, and forward is exactly where you need to be. Finally, remember that the game of success is meant to be played with joy. When you align your actions with what excites and inspires you, the process becomes less about pressure and more about passion. You don't need to wait for the world to validate your success. Define what success means to you. It might be achieving a career goal, building stronger relationships, or simply waking up every day feeling proud of who you are. Whatever it is, make sure it's authentic to you. Success is just a game you are fully capable of winning. Understand the rules, practice the moves, and silence the critic. Visualize the win, celebrate every step, and play for the joy of it. Remember, the players who win aren't necessarily the strongest or the fastest, they're the ones who just show up. Stay persistent and believe they can. You are that player. Area. Now go out there and play. As success is not something external, it begins within you. The thoughts you allow to take root in your mind shape your reality, often in ways you may not realize. Your mind is like fertile soil, and your thoughts are the seeds. Whatever you plant, whether it's thoughts of confidence and potential, doubt and limitation, will grow. The key to success lies in choosing which seeds you cultivate. Consider this: every action you take is driven by the beliefs you hold about yourself. If you believe you are capable, worthy, and resilient, you will approach challenges with determination and creativity. On the other hand, if you believe you are destined to fail or not good enough, your actions or lack thereof will reflect that belief. These thoughts act as the foundation of your behavior, which ultimately determines your outcomes. The truth is, your mind is always listening to you. It doesn't question the validity of what you tell it. It simply absorbs and acts on it. If you repeatedly think, I'm not good at this, or I'll never succeed, your mind treats those statements as instructions. It reinforces patterns of behavior that align with those negative beliefs, limiting your ability to move forward. However, if you replace those thoughts with empowering ones like "I am capable of learning this," or "I have what it takes to succeed," you create a new framework for your mind to follow. Success isn't about talent or luck, it's about belief. The people who achieve their goals aren't necessarily the smartest or the most privileged, they're the ones who believe they can. This belief drives them to take action, stay consistent, and push through difficulties. It's not that they don't encounter setbacks, they simply don't let those setbacks dictate their self-worth or potential. You might think, it's not that easy to just change my thoughts. And you're right, it requires effort and intention. But it's a skill you can develop. Start by becoming aware of your internal dialogue. Notice the negative or limiting thoughts that arise and challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Or is it just a habit I've developed? Once you recognize a negative belief, replace it with a positive and supportive one. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm too inexperienced to succeed," try thinking, "Every expert was once a beginner, and I'm on my way to mastery." It's also important to remember that beliefs aren't fixed, they can be reshaped. You weren't born doubting yourself. Those thoughts were learned over time, often through experiences or the influence of others. That means they can be unlearned too. When you consciously choose to nurture thoughts of confidence, possibility, and self-worth, you give yourself the freedom to grow and achieve in ways you never thought possible. The thoughts you choose to believe are like the compass guiding your journey. They determine the direction you take and how far you'll go. Your mind is incredibly powerful, but it is also highly impressionable. It absorbs and acts upon the messages you feed it, whether they are positive or negative, true or false. This means that the words you use when you talk to yourself play a significant role in shaping your reality. Every thought, every phrase, and every belief you repeat to yourself becomes a command that your mind works to fulfill. When you tell yourself something repeatedly, your mind begins to accept it as truth, even if it isn't rooted in fact. For instance, if you constantly think, "I'm not good enough," or "I always fail," your mind will internalize those words and create behaviors, habits, and patterns that align with them. You might hesitate to take risks, shy away from opportunities, or give up before trying because your mind is simply following the instructions you've given it. On the other hand, when you consistently tell yourself, "I am capable, I can handle this," or "I'm deserving of success," your mind begins to believe those messages too. These words of possibility act as a guide, influencing your choices and actions in ways that propel you forward. They encourage you to take bold steps, embrace challenges, and seek out opportunities that align with your goals. Your mind is not inherently biased toward negativity or positivity, it simply responds to repetition. This is why it's so important to be intentional about the words you choose. Many people unknowingly sabotage themselves with phrases like "I can't" or "it's too hard," without realizing that these statements are shaping their beliefs and limiting their potential. By deliberately placing those words with empowering ones, you can change your mindset and ultimately your results. The power of repetition is profound. Just as a drop of water can wear away stone over time, the words you repeatedly speak to yourself shape the neural pathways in your brain. These pathways influence how you think, feel, and respond to the world. With consistent practice, you can rewire your brain to focus on possibility, growth, and success. It's also worth noting that your mind cannot distinguish between words spoken aloud and thoughts kept silent. This means your internal dialogue matters just as much as what you say to others. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself, especially in moments of doubt or difficulty. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, make a conscious effort to reframe those thoughts into ones that reflect possibility and empowerment. For example, if you're facing a challenge, instead of thinking, "I'll never figure this out," tell yourself, "I'll find a way." Instead of thinking, "This is too much for me," say, "I have the strength to handle this." These small shifts may feel insignificant at first, but over time, they create a ripple effect that changes how you see yourself and what you believe you can achieve. Your words are not just a reflection of your current state, they are the building blocks of your future. Limiting beliefs are like invisible walls that hold you back from reaching your full potential. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, things you've been told, or even fears and doubts you've internalized over time. They act as filters through which you view the world, shaping how you think, feel, and act. The problem is that these beliefs feel so real and absolute that you rarely stop to question them. Yet the truth is they are not facts. They are stories you've been telling yourself, and stories can be rewritten. The first step in overcoming limiting beliefs is recognizing them. These beliefs often appear as thoughts like, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve this, I'll never succeed, or people like me don't achieve those things. They may feel automatic and unquestionable, but they are simply assumptions you've accepted without challenge. To uncover them, pay attention to moments when you feel stuck, anxious, or incapable. Ask yourself, what belief is driving this feeling? What am I telling myself that's making me feel this way? Once you've identified a limiting belief, it's time to question it. Start by asking, is this belief really true? More often than not, you'll find that it isn't. For example, if you believe, I always fail, take a moment to examine it. Is it true that you always fail, or are there instances where you've succeeded but overlooked them? By challenging the belief, you begin to see its flaws and loosen its grip on your mind. Another powerful question to ask is, where did this belief come from? Many limiting beliefs are not even your own. They may have been planted by a critical parent, a discouraging teacher, or societal expectations. Recognizing that these beliefs didn't originate with you can help you detach from them. You are not obligated to carry someone else's doubts or fears as your own. After questioning the belief, rewrite it into something empowering. For example, if your belief is, I'm not good enough, replace it with, I am capable and constantly improving. If your belief is, I'll never succeed, reframe it as, success is a process and I'm on the right path. Writing these new beliefs down and repeating them to yourself regularly can help solidify them in your mind. It's also helpful to gather evidence that supports your new beliefs. Reflect on moments when you've overcome challenges, accomplished goals, or grown in unexpected ways. Use these examples to remind yourself that you are capable and resilient. Every time you counter a limiting belief with proof of your potential, you weaken its hold on you. Limiting beliefs don't disappear overnight, but with awareness and persistence, you can break free from their constraints. The more you question and rewrite them, the more you create space for growth, opportunity, and self-belief. It's a process of reclaiming your narrative and choosing to write a story that empowers rather than restricts you. Success is not about giant leaps or overnight transformations. It's about the small, consistent steps you take every day. Too often, people get caught up in the idea of perfection, thinking they need to have everything figured out before they start. They hesitate, overanalyze, and wait for the right moment, which rarely ever comes. What they fail to realize is that progress, not perfection, is what truly drives success. Every big achievement is the result of countless small actions taken consistently over time. It's easy to look at someone's success and think it happened all at once, but the truth is they got there by showing up every day and doing the work, even when it wasn't glamorous or perfect. Progress is built step by step, brick by brick. It's not about how fast you move, but that you keep moving forward. Taking small steps allows you to break down overwhelming goals into manageable pieces. When a goal feels too big, it can be paralyzing. You might think, where do I even start? But when you focus on just the next small step, the process becomes much more approachable. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon, you don't start by running 26 miles on your first day. You start by running 1 mile or even walking, and then gradually build from there. Small steps are also powerful because they create momentum. Each action you take, no matter how small, gives you a sense of accomplishment. It reminds you that you're making progress, which boosts your confidence and motivates you to keep going. Over time, these small actions compound, leading to significant results. It's like planting seeds in a garden. At first, the progress might seem invisible, but with consistent care and effort, those seeds grow into something extraordinary. One of the greatest benefits of focusing on progress rather than perfection is that it frees you from the fear of failure. When you aim for perfection, every mistake feels catastrophic, and you're more likely to give up at the first sign of difficulty. But when you focus on progress, mistakes become opportunities to learn and grow. You start to see them as part of the journey rather than a reason to stop. Consistency is the key that ties it all together. Showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. You don't have to do everything perfectly, you just have to keep going. Whether it's 5 minutes of effort, one small task, or a single step, it all adds up over time. Perfection is an illusion that keeps you stuck, but progress is real and it moves you forward. Small, consistent steps may not seem impressive in the moment, but they are the foundation of every meaningful achievement. The more you focus on what you can do today, the closer you'll get to where you want to be. Failure is often viewed as a negative event, something to be avoided or feared. Many people believe that failure represents the opposite of success, a stark contrast between what we hope to achieve and what we actually experience. But what if failure wasn't something to be feared or avoided? What if it was something that could help us move forward? Something necessary for progress and growth. This perspective shifts our understanding of failure and opens up new possibilities for how we approach our goals. When we examine successful people across different fields, whether in business, sports, or science, we often find a common thread: failure. It is almost a given that they will experience setbacks along the way. However, what distinguishes them is how they perceive and respond to those failures. They don't let failure stop them. Instead, they view it as an integral part of their journey, a stepping stone that helps them refine their strategies, build resilience, and ultimately get closer to their objectives. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Edison is widely recognized for inventing the light bulb, but what is often overlooked is how many failures he experienced along the way. In fact, Edison failed thousands of times before creating a functional light bulb. Yet he didn't view each failure as a setback. Instead, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's belief instance of the to see failure not as an endpoint, but as a necessary part of the process was the necessity of eventual success. Similarly, in the world of sports, athletes who succeed at the highest levels are often those who have faced numerous defeats but have learned from them. Michael Jordan, considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was famously cut from his high school basketball team. This failure could have ended his career right then and there, but instead it became a motivator. Jordan used the experience to push himself harder, to practice more intensely, and to learn from his mistakes. His failure, rather than hindering his progress, became the fuel that propelled him to greatness. This understanding of failure as a stepping stone is essential in the world of entrepreneurship as well. The most successful entrepreneurs, from Steve Jobs to Elon Musk, have faced failure at various points in their careers. Yet, they didn't let these moments define them. Instead, they used failure as a way to learn what works and what doesn't. Each failure provided valuable insights that helped them refine their ideas and approaches, ultimately leading to their success. For example, Jobs was ousted from Apple, the company he founded, only to return years later and lead it to unparalleled success. Musk faced numerous setbacks with SpaceX and Tesla, but he persisted, knowing that failure was just part of the innovation process. When we shift our mindset and begin to see failure as a stepping stone rather than obstacle, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Failure is not an indication that we are on the wrong path, but rather a sign that we are pushing boundaries, trying new things, and taking risks. It is through failure that we learn the most about ourselves and our potential. It teaches us patience, adaptability, and resilience, which are all key qualities of successful individuals. The most important lesson we can learn from failure is that it is not the end of the road, but an integral part of the journey. Without it, success would be less meaningful, less earned, and less rewarding. Resilience is often seen as an essential trait for overcoming adversity, yet it is far more than just the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Resilience is the driving force that enables us to stay in the game when everything seems to be working against us. It is the quality that allows us to push forward, even when challenges arise, and it is the foundation upon which long-term success is built. Life is filled with obstacles, whether personal or professional, but how we respond to these challenges can define the trajectory of our journey. Those who develop resilience are not only able to endure difficult times, but are also able to emerge from them stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is the ability to stay focused and committed despite adversity. Many people encounter challenges that make them question their goals and dreams. When things get tough, it's easy to consider giving up, yet resilience allows us to keep going when others might quit. It is about maintaining the belief that no matter how difficult the path ahead may seem, we can overcome the obstacles and continue moving forward. Staying in the game requires not just perseverance, but also an unwavering confidence that there is a way through even the most difficult situations. Resilience is also about the ability to adapt and grow from adversity. Life doesn't always unfold according to plan, and sometimes the unexpected occurs, throwing us off course. But rather than seeing these disruptions as failures, resilient individuals view them as opportunities to learn. They don't simply endure tough times, they actively seek to understand the lessons hidden within them. Whether it's a personal loss, a career setback, or a business failure, resilience allows us to adapt to new circumstances, adjust our strategies, and come out on the other side better equipped to handle future challenges. It's through these experiences that we develop the wisdom and strength to tackle whatever comes our way. Consider the example of athletes who are constantly pushing their bodies and minds to the limit. They face injuries, failures, and the pressure of competition, yet it is their resilience that enables them to get back on the field or court after every setback. For instance, an athlete who suffers a serious injury must not only physically recover, but also mentally prepare to re-enter the competition with confidence. They must rebuild not just their strength, but also their sense of self-belief and motivation. Through resilience, they not only recover, but become stronger, often surpassing their previous limits. In this way, resilience allows individuals to turn adversity into fuel for growth. Resilience is also a key factor in leadership. Great leaders are often defined by their ability to lead their teams through tough times. When faced with a crisis, a resilient leader remains calm, focused, and solution-oriented. They do not let stress or fear cloud their judgment. Instead, they inspire others to remain determined and confident. By modeling resilience, leaders can create an environment where their teams feel empowered to face challenges head-on and come out stronger. The ability to stay in the game, even when the stakes are high, and to inspire others to do the same, is one of the most powerful aspects of resilient leadership. Building resilience is a continuous process, one that requires both self-awareness and self-compassion. It is about understanding our strengths and weaknesses, acknowledging our emotions, and finding ways to cope with stress and adversity. It's also about being willing to fail and knowing that failure is not the end but an opportunity to grow. Resilience isn't something that comes overnight. It's built over time through experience, reflection, and a commitment to pushing forward no matter the challenges. It is the key to not just surviving the tough times but thriving in them, becoming stronger with every step. Celebrating small wins is a practice that is often overlooked, yet it plays a crucial role in maintaining motivation and fostering growth. In a world that is constantly pushing us to achieve bigger and more significant milestones, it can be easy to overlook the small victories along the way. However, these small wins are not just insignificant events, they are the building blocks that support the larger goals we strive for. Recognizing and celebrating them helps us stay motivated, build momentum, and develop a sense of accomplishment that propels us forward. Each small victory, whether it's completing a task, learning a new skill, or overcoming a minor setback, is an opportunity to reflect on progress. When we take the time to celebrate these moments, we reinforce the positive behaviors and actions that led to them. It's a way of acknowledging the effort and perseverance that went into achieving even the smallest goals. These celebrations don't have to be extravagant or grand. They can be as simple as acknowledging the accomplishment with a moment of pride or sharing it with others. This simple act of recognition creates a positive feedback loop that encourages us to keep pushing forward. Small wins can also serve as important markers on the journey toward larger goals. When we are working on a long-term objective, it can sometimes feel like progress is slow or hard to measure. This is especially true when the ultimate goal is distant or complex. However, by focusing on the smaller wins, we create checkpoints that help us track progress and maintain a sense of direction. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings us closer to the final destination. Celebrating these moments provides a sense of accomplishment and reminds us that we are indeed moving forward, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Celebrating small wins also has a powerful impact on our mindset. Success, no matter the size, breeds more success. When we acknowledge and celebrate each small achievement, we cultivate a sense of positivity and confidence that encourages us to take on bigger challenges. Small wins help shift our focus from what we haven't yet achieved to what we have accomplished. This change in perspective fosters a growth mindset, one that sees challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, rather than as obstacles to success. When we celebrate small wins, we begin to believe that progress is possible, and that belief fuels our motivation to keep going. Moreover, small wins are a testament to our ability to overcome obstacles and stay committed to our goals. They are proof that we have the resilience to keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. By celebrating these victories, we acknowledge the effort and determination it took to get to that point. This recognition boosts our self-esteem and encourages us to tackle the next challenge with the same focus and determination. Over time, these small wins add up, leading to significant growth and progress. The accumulation of small victories can ultimately lead to achieving our biggest goals. Celebrating small wins also helps to maintain a sense of balance and well-being. In the pursuit of large, long-term goals, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the enormity of the task at hand. We may feel like we're not doing enough or that our efforts aren't yielding results quickly enough. By focusing on small wins, we give ourselves permission to take pride in our progress and recharge our energy. These moments of celebration act as pauses, allowing us to reflect, appreciate our journey, and refocus on the next step. Celebrating the small wins helps us stay grounded, ensuring that we don't lose sight of how far we've come while we continue to push forward. Success is often seen as a distant destination, something that will eventually come to us if we simply wait long enough or wish hard enough. Many people spend their time dreaming about success, imagining what it will feel like once they reach it. But the truth is that success is not something that simply happens to us. It is created through action. It is the result of consistently taking steps toward our goals, no matter how big or small. Success does not come to those who sit back and wait for it. It comes to those who take initiative and actively work toward what they want. Waiting for success to come can be an easy trap to fall into. It's tempting to think that if we just put our hopes out into the universe, everything will fall into place. However, the reality is that wishing for success without taking action is futile. Success requires effort, determination, and persistence. It requires us to step out of our comfort zones, face challenges head-on, and continually strive for progress. Every action we take, no matter how small, is a step toward making our dreams a reality. One of the most powerful things we can do to create success is to set clear, actionable goals. Without a roadmap, it's easy to become lost or discouraged along the way. Goals give us direction, purpose, and focus. They turn our abstract ideas and dreams into concrete plans. But setting goals alone is not enough. It's the action we take to achieve those goals that ultimately determines our success. Each task, each effort, each decision we make plays a part in shaping the outcome. Success is not an event that simply occurs. It is the result of countless actions, decisions, and efforts, both large and small, that accumulate over time. Action breeds momentum. When we take the first step, it's often the hardest. But once we begin, we build energy, and that energy pushes us forward. Taking consistent action, even in the face of uncertainty or setbacks, creates a momentum that keeps us moving toward our objectives. It turns the idea of success from a distant, abstract concept into something tangible and achievable. The more we act, the more we learn, and the more progress we make. Waiting for the perfect moment or for things to be ideal will only delay our progress. There will never be a perfect time to start. The key is to start, make adjustments as we go along. There's also an element of accountability that comes with action. When we take action, we are actively participating in the process, creating success. It's no longer a passive hope, but a deliberate effort. This sense of ownership and responsibility strengthens our commitment and keeps us on track. Success becomes a reflection of our work, our dedication, and our persistence. It's no longer something that happens by chance, but something that we've created through our own efforts. In addition to consistent action, it's important to remember that failure is not the end of the road, but a part of the journey. Many people hesitate to take action because they fear failure, but in reality, failure is a necessary component of success. It provides valuable lessons, helps us refine our approach, and builds resilience. It's through action that we confront challenges and learn from them, which ultimately leads to greater success. Success is not something that simply arrives, it is something we create through our actions. It's easy to wish for success, but it's far more powerful to take deliberate steps toward it. Each action we take brings us closer to our goals, builds momentum, and empowers us to keep moving forward. Waiting and wishing may seem like safer options, but they won't bring us closer to our dreams. It's through action, persistence, and the willingness to embrace both the successes and setbacks that we shape our future.